Chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment and listen closely, because there is a reason these words found you today. You may not understand everything happening in your life right now, but something inside you already knows that this season feels different. You have been waiting. You have been praying. You have been trying to stay strong while carrying questions you cannot answer. And perhaps you have quietly wondered, God, why is this happening to me? Why is the door still closed? Why is the answer taking so long? Why did that person walk away? Why did something you prayed for suddenly fall apart? Why does it feel like everyone else is moving forward while you are standing in the same place? Chosen one, what if this season is not about God forgetting you? What if this season is revealing you? There are moments when God allows us to walk through situations that expose what is truly inside our hearts, not because He wants to destroy us, but because He wants to prepare us. The delay can reveal your patience. The silence can reveal your faith. Rejection can reveal where you have placed your identity. Loneliness can reveal whether you can remain strong without constant validation from other people. And sometimes the greatest test is not what happens around you. It is what happens inside you because of what happens around you. Anyone can remain grateful when everything is going well. Anyone can say they trust God when the money is coming, the relationship is peaceful, the opportunity is open, and the future looks clear. But what happens when nothing makes sense? What happens when you pray and still have to wait? What happens when you do everything you believe is right, yet the situation does not change? That is where your heart begins to speak. Maybe you have been tempted to become bitter. Maybe you have started questioning whether your prayers matter. Maybe anger has been growing inside you because you feel like you have been overlooked. Maybe you are tired of watching people who hurt you seem to succeed while you are still fighting battles nobody sees. Be careful, chosen one. Do not allow a difficult season to turn you into someone you were never meant to become. Your pain is real, but it does not have to become your personality. Your disappointment is real, but it does not have to become your identity. Your waiting is real, but it does not mean your future has been cancelled. Sometimes God is doing a deeper work in you before changing something around you. You may be asking for the blessing while God is preparing your heart to carry it. You may be asking for the next door to open while God is teaching you discernment so you know which doors should remain closed. You may be asking for more influence while God is teaching you humility. You may be asking for abundance while God is teaching you gratitude. You may be asking for a new relationship while God is healing the parts of you that would otherwise carry old wounds into something new. This is why you cannot judge the entire process by what you see today. A seed does not look like a tree. A beginning does not look like a finished story. And preparation often looks like nothing is happening. Perhaps that is why this season has felt so strange. You cannot see the progress, but that does not mean there is no progress. Something may be changing beneath the surface. Your patience is being strengthened. Your discernment is becoming sharper. Your priorities are changing. Your heart is learning what deserves your attention and what needs to be released. You are discovering that not every person deserves access to your peace. You are discovering that not every rejection is a loss. You are discovering that not every delay is denial. And you are discovering that sometimes God protects you by refusing to give you what you desperately wanted at the wrong time. Think about the things you once begged for that, looking back, you are grateful you did not receive. Think about the people you thought you needed, who eventually revealed why they had to leave. Think about the doors you desperately wanted, opened that later turned out to be completely wrong for you. At the time, you called it disappointment. Later, you may call it protection. That is why you must be careful about judging your current season too quickly. You do not know everything that is being prevented. You do not know everything that is being prepared. You do not know what God may be teaching you through this uncertainty, but you do know what you can control. You can control your response. You can choose patience when impatience feels easier. You can choose forgiveness instead of revenge. You can choose faith instead of constantly feeding fear. You can choose humility instead of pride. You can choose obedience even when nobody is watching. And that is where the real test begins. Because God may not be asking you to understand everything. He may be asking you to trust Him while you do not understand. There is a difference. Trust does not mean you never feel afraid. It means fear does not get the final decision. Trust does not mean you never become tired. It means exhaustion does not convince you to abandon your values. Trust does not mean you never question. It means your questions do not have to destroy your faith. So, if you are currently walking through silence, do not assume you have been forgotten. If you are experiencing rejection, do not assume you have been rejected by God. If you are facing delays, do not assume your story has stopped. If you are lonely, do not assume you are abandoned. This season may be revealing something inside you that needed to be strengthened before you could move forward. And perhaps the most important question is not, when will this end? Perhaps the question is, who am I becoming while I am waiting? Because your response to this season matters. The way you handle disappointment matters. The way you treat people when you are hurting matters. The way you speak when you feel overlooked matters. The way you remain faithful when there is no immediate reward matters. You may think nobody sees the choices you are making in private, but those choices are shaping you. So protect your heart. Do not let temporary circumstances produce permanent bitterness. Do not let someone else's rejection convince you that you are worthless. Do not let unanswered questions make you abandon everything you believe. Keep walking, keep praying, keep growing, because this test may be preparing you for something you cannot see yet. And before you ask God to change your circumstances, ask Him to strengthen your heart. Because when the next chapter finally opens, the greatest question may not be whether the blessing is ready for you. It may be whether you are ready for the blessing. And that is where your response to this season becomes more important than you realize. Chosen one, now you need to hear the part that may be hardest to accept. The test is not only about what is happening to you, it is about how you respond to what is happening to you. You cannot always control the delay. You cannot control who walks away. You cannot control who misunderstands you, who disappoints you, or which door suddenly closes. But you can control what you allow those experiences to create inside your heart. And this is where the real battle begins. Because when you are hurt, anger feels natural. When you are betrayed, revenge can feel justified. When you are ignored, bitterness can feel easier than forgiveness. When you have waited for too long, impatience can start whispering that maybe you should stop believing altogether. But chosen one, do not let a painful moment make a permanent decision for your life. Someone may have hurt you, but you do not have to become hurtful. Someone may have lied about you, but you do not have to spend your life proving them wrong. Someone may have walked away, but you do not have to chase them. Someone may have rejected you, but you do not have to reject yourself. Your responsibility is not to control their response. Your responsibility is to guard your heart. That does not mean pretending you were never hurt. It does not mean allowing people to repeatedly disrespect you. It does not mean ignoring boundaries or returning to situations that destroy your peace. It means refusing to let bitterness become your identity. You can forgive and still move forward. You can release someone and still remember the lesson. You can close a door without hatred. You can walk away without revenge. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop trying to make people understand your side of the story. Let God handle what you cannot explain. Let time reveal what you cannot prove. Let your character speak louder than your arguments. Because there is a temptation during difficult seasons to believe that you must fight every battle. You feel like you need to defend yourself against every accusation, respond to every insult, correct every misunderstanding, and prove your worth to everyone who doubts you. But you do not. Your peace is more valuable than winning every argument. Your future is more important than proving a point. And your heart is too important to fill with anger over people who may not even be thinking about you anymore. Rayla, see it. Not because what happened did not matter, but because you matter too much to carry it forever. And then there is the test of waiting. This may be one of the hardest tests of all. You prayed, but the answer has not appeared. You believed, but the situation still looks the same. You hoped, but the timeline keeps moving. And now you are tempted to force something, because you are tired of waiting. But desperation can make you reach for things that peace would have told you to leave alone. Do not allow impatience to make decisions that wisdom would reject. You do not have to force every door open. You do not have to chase every opportunity. You do not have to hold on to every person. You do not have to manufacture an outcome simply because you are uncomfortable with uncertainty. Sometimes faith means allowing God to work without constantly trying to take control back. You can make plans, you can work hard, you can take wise action, but you can also surrender the outcome. That is where peace begins. You may not know what is coming next, but you can decide who you will be while you wait. You can remain honest. You can remain humble. You can remain faithful. You can keep your heart clean. You can continue doing what is right, even when nobody applauds you. And perhaps that is exactly what this season is teaching you. Maybe the greatest preparation is happening inside you. Maybe you are learning patience because the next chapter will require it. Maybe you are learning discernment because not everything that looks good is good for you. Maybe you are learning boundaries because your peace cannot survive without them. Maybe you are learning obedience because your future will require you to make difficult choices. Maybe you are learning surrender because you cannot carry the weight of controlling everything. Do not despise that process. The season that feels like a delay may be developing qualities that will serve you for years. And remember, this does not mean that every difficult situation guarantees an immediate miracle. It does not mean every closed door will suddenly open or every problem will disappear overnight. But it does mean your response has power. You can allow this season to make you smaller, harder, and more fearful. Or you can allow it to make you wiser, stronger, calmer, and more deeply rooted in faith. That choice is happening every day. When anger rises, choose peace. When fear rises, choose trust. When revenge feels satisfying, choose release. When impatience tells you to force the situation, choose wisdom. When doubt tells you that nothing will ever change, remember that you do not need to know the entire future to take the next faithful step. Chosen one, perhaps you have been waiting for a sign outside of you, when the transformation is already beginning inside you. Look at how you respond now compared with who you used to be. Maybe you do not react as quickly. Maybe you no longer chase people who walk away. Maybe you are learning to be silent instead of arguing. Maybe you are learning to pray before making decisions. Maybe you are learning that peace is more valuable than attention. That is growth. And sometimes growth is the blessing you were not expecting. So today, release what you cannot control. Release the need to know exactly when everything will happen. Release the need for everyone to understand you. Release the desire for revenge. Release the fear of what tomorrow may bring. And trust that you can take one step at a time. Protect your heart. Protect your peace. Protect your faith. Do not allow temporary pain to corrupt something that took years to build within you. And if you are tired, rest, but do not surrender. If you are confused, pray, but do not panic. If you are disappointed, grieve, but do not become bitter. If you are waiting, wait with wisdom, not desperation. And if you do not understand what God is doing right now, remember that you do not have to understand everything to remain faithful. Let this be your prayer. God, I surrender what I cannot control. I surrender the people I cannot change, the situations I cannot fix, and the answers I cannot force. Protect my heart from bitterness. Protect my mind from fear. Give me patience when I want to rush, wisdom when I want to react, and strength when I feel like giving up. Help me forgive without forgetting the lessons. Help me release without becoming bitter. Help me walk away from what is not meant for me without fear. Keep me obedient when nobody is watching. Keep me faithful when the answer is delayed. And when I cannot see what you are doing, help me trust that I do not need to see everything to keep moving forward. Chosen one, let those words settle deep inside you. You are not required to understand every delay. You are not required to explain every rejection. You are not required to control every outcome. You are only required to keep your heart aligned with what is good, truthful, peaceful, and faithful. Do not fail the test by becoming the very thing your pain tried to create. Become wiser, become stronger, become more peaceful, become more discerning. Let this season transform you instead of destroying you, because one day you may look back at the moments that almost broke you and realize they were also the moments that taught you how to stand. So keep going, keep your heart clean, keep your faith alive, keep trusting the timing. The chapter you are living today is not the whole story. And whatever comes next, meet it with a heart that is ready. Not because you know exactly what tomorrow holds, but because you have learned that you can walk into tomorrow without fear.